in independent events, whatever happens in one event has absolutely nothing to do with what happens next, because the two events are physically independent and therefore they are unrelated. So example one, suppose you spin each of these two spinners. What is the probability of spinning an even number and a vowel? And these are vowels here, the ones that are listed here. And we can see that we only have one vowel in the second um, spinner. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'll use two methods. Method one, I'll use a table. So basically what I'm going to do is to list the possible outcomes in a table. Now the first spinner has 6 faces. So what I'm going to do is 6 portions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the second has 5 portions. And they are P, O, R, T, and S. So I'll have to add another row. Okay. So, and then what I'm going to do is to list possible outcomes. So you can have a P and a 1, P and a 2, P and 3, P and 4, P and 5, P and 6. You can also have an O and a 1, an O and a 2, an O and a 3, an O and a 4, O and a 5, and O and a 6. You can have an R and a 1, R and a 2, R and a 3, R and a 4, R and a 5, R and 6. You can have a T and a 1, T and a 2, T and a 3, T and a 4, T and a 5, T and a 6. You can have S and 1, S and 2, S and 3, S and 4, S and 5, S and 6. Now, what the question is asking us is to find the probability of spinning an even number. Now, by inspection, these are the even numbers that we have here. Okay. And a vowel, we only have one vowel in the second spinner. So which means the only squares that are giving us these possibilities are these ones here, 0 and 2, 0 and 4, and 0 and 6. Because 0, sorry, O and 2, O and 4, and O and 6. O is a vowel, and 2, 4, and 6 are even numbers. So these are the only squares that are giving us cases whereby we have an even number and a vowel. So the probability of an even and a vowel, so probability of an even and a vowel will be equal to 3 ways on how that can happen out of 30 possible outcomes. Of course, here you can see we have 30 possible outcomes. All these guys here are the possible outcomes, and they are 30 of them. Okay, and you can simplify your answer to 1 out of 10. Method 2 is so for method 2, we can find these probabilities by just multiplying corresponding probabilities. So I'm just going to multiply corresponding probabilities. Okay, and that's how method 2 works. And this works only for independent events. So basically the probability, now by inspection, if you go back to the first spinner, the probability of getting an even number is 3 out of 6. So probability even is 3 out of 6, which is a half. And the probability of a vowel in the second spinner, if you look at the second spinner, there's only one vowel out of 5 possible outcomes. So 1 out of 5. So to find the probability of an even and a vowel, what you're saying is we'll just multiply the corresponding probability. So that will be a half multiplied by 1 over 5, which is 1 over 10. So in general, for independent events, we can say that, so therefore, for independent events, let's say for independent events A and B, the probability of A and B which is written as A and B will be equal to PA multiplied by PB. Now this is very important. So for independent events, you don't have to draw a table to generate the possible outcomes. You can just multiply corresponding probabilities to get what you want. So I'm going to look at another example to just show you how you can work this out without necessarily going through the long process of drawing a table. So Samantha has a probability of a third of hitting a target with an arrow, while Rose has a probability of 2/5. If they fire at the target, determine the probability that both hit a target. So the probability that both of them hit a target will just be Samantha hitting a target, which is a third, multiplied by probability of Rose hitting a target, which is 2 over 5. And if you multiply those, you'll end up with 2 over 15. Both missing a target means Samantha misses a target, which will be 2 over 3. Rose missing a target, which will be 3 over 5. And you end up with 6 over 15, which can be simplified to 2 over 5. Samantha hits the target and Rose misses. That will be equal to a third multiplied by Rose missing the target will be 3 over 5, which is equal to 3 over 15, which can be simplified to a fifth. Samantha misses the target. That will be 2 over 3 multiplied by Rose hitting the target, which is 2 over 5, which is 4 out of 15.